Good evening. My name is Brett Steenberg. I've been a resident and property owner in this town for nearly 3 decades. I'm also a licensed professional engineer in 3 states and owner of Steenberg Consulting Engineering. I'm here tonight to alert the public of a potential health and life safety issue regarding copper levels exceeding the EPA and DOH action limits in the drinking water in certain areas of this town. We've always had issues with our hot water heater since we moved in, never lasting more than 5 years. We always knew there was an issue. We weren't really sure what it was. We did everything we could to protect it. In February of 2024, my wife's hair turned green from showering. In December 2024, after our 4th hot water heater failed, we contacted and made a formal complaint with the town. We spent a lot of time trying to get information, trying to keep things moving. But after 3-4 months, we finally consulted a water quality expert on our own. He came into our house and said, "Oh, Rosendale Road, I'm up and down Rosendale Road all the time. There have been a ton of complaints. They've made complaints to the town." At this point, we began foiling the information. We did eventually receive a list of about 36 complaints that just gave addresses. However, there was one complaint which had quite a bit of backup, although I'm finding out that it was only a small percentage of the correspondence she had with the town, which dated back to 2019. Miss Christine Brooks, who's here tonight, so I won't elaborate on it much, but her copper reading was 50% over the EPA minimum action or maximum action requirement. I'm here out of a genuine concern for my family and residents along Rosendale Road, Mohawk Road, River Road, Eastern River Road, and Lock 7 Road. In June of 2025, after significant pressure, the town did conduct copper samples at our home. I thought it was just our house. Turns out it was 3 or 6 residences. It took a while, but on August 9th, we finally asked, "What's our copper reading?" 2 months later, 60 days. We got our copper reading. It had exceeded by 15-20% the EPA minimum standards. Never notified by the town, and we were told that they had contacted the Department of Health. Now, on August 19th, we received an email saying that because it's in the 90th percentile rule, we don't need to notify anybody. We're just giving this to you out of courtesy. That didn't make any sense to me because it's a single sample. The 90th percentile rule does not apply. I'm very well versed in it. As my wife went down, she met with Schenectady County Department of Health. I began writing letters to the State Department of Health to find out what was this. Well, when she met with Schenectady County Department of Health, evidently there was a big misunderstanding on the samples themselves, and he needed to look into it further. And thankfully, I did write an extensive report to the New York State Department of Health, which they did take a look at. In the interim, my wife emailed Miss Cassidy Dorian and asked her, "You expect us to continue to drink water that has higher than EPA standards for copper?" And the response we got back was, "I never said that." And, a few things in there, but the final sentence is what got me. And I'm going to read it verbatim. "It is best if you continue to work with the Department of Health, and I wish you luck." I wish you luck. I was astounded. Not even hey, listen, we can do something about this. I have it in writing if anybody wants, but it became very crystal clear to me at that point that Miss Cassidy Dorian or the town was not going to notify or help any of the residents without New York State Department of Health forcing them to do so. It wasn't until September, approximately 90 days later, that some of the residents that did test high were finally notified of their high levels of copper in their drinking water. 80% higher. They have a small child. I'm familiar with the family. I'm familiar with the residents. I think all of you need to be made aware. Department of Health has no authority to govern the water district. You do. They are merely set the standards, and they merely give you guidance to do so. You are the ones responsible for the Niskayuna Consolidated Water District. The 4 of you up there, and 5th if we had them. I believe my home has been subject to high copper levels since we moved in 2003. A day doesn't go by that I'm not sick at the long-term effects it may have had on my son after consuming for 22 years. This is not something that is minor. This is a legitimate health and life safety. The data's out there. Copper is not good for you. That's why EPA sets an action limit. We believe it's being caused by low pH. It's not only corroding our copper lines, it's corroding your lines. Every time I hear you, you talk about water main breaks. It's corroding your own lines. It needs to be fixed. And thankfully, with my action, not your action, with my action getting the Department of Health involved, they have the top corrosion experts working on this. This should have been something that was handled by this administration. Now, I prepared a map documenting the limited data that I've gotten from the town over the while. It's about 3.5 miles of road frontage and water mains. And, you know, with the area that I would consider of highest probability. In that area includes 2 schools, a daycare facility, a restaurant, a very popular restaurant, I might add, a town park, and a facility, a home for disabled people. Now, not every residence in this area is going to see these. It's very dependent upon water, or the length of your water service. I believe, I don't know for sure when you use your water. A lot of the people that I've talked to actually stay at home. You know, a variety of other issues. And actually the age of your water line. Seems like the newer water lines are even more subject to it because probably they haven't sustained the patinaing that the older water lines have. But if people are getting blue-green staining, constant failures of water heaters, appliances, washers, dishwashers, coffee makers, I go through one a year, pungent copper odor, especially first thing in the morning, nausea after drinking the tap water, or in our case, my pets will not drink my tap water. They will not drink it. They will find a puddle. They will find anything they can do to not drink the tap water. Please contact Dominic DiCarlo or Jennifer Preeb at the Schenectady County Department of Health if you're experiencing any of this, especially if you are in the zones on the map, and I will leave us some of the maps out front. The number is 518-386-2818. In closing, I'd like to thank Senator Tedisco and the New York State Department of Health for their diligence in helping us navigate this matter so that the residents in this portion of town can have safe drinking water again. Thank you. Oh, and one last thing, and I'm gonna throw this out there just as a professional opinion. I think you should test the water at the drinking fountain at River Road Park. I don't know for sure, but I would test it as soon as possible. My test strips, they're not overly accurate. They're basic test strips, so I can't read to the 10th or the 100th like the tests that were done on our house, but they do show levels of copper. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, April Steenberg, 2832 Rosendale Road. My husband spoke in the capacity of a licensed engineer. I'm here today to speak as a resident, but mostly in capacity as a mother and a daughter. I have been a resident for nearly 30 years. I have never once spoken at a town board meeting. Tonight, I feel as though I have to speak. I am deeply concerned for not only my family, but for others as well. As someone who spent a large portion of my career working in radiation oncology, both treating cancer patients and managing radiation oncology departments, I think it's understandable why, when I learned that my son and my family has been drinking water for 22 years that has copper levels that can lead to kidney issues, liver issues, or cancer, why I'm concerned. I want to share a few of the hurdles this administration put forth in order to intentionally withhold this information from ever reaching the public. First off, the complaint that I dropped off with Michelle Martinelli disappeared. We wrote another letter. Aaron assured me it would be addressed. From there, it sat on Cara Park's desk for 2 months. After that, Aaron told me she wanted no communication. But I could speak with Jason and Bill on the matter. Jason wanted nothing to do with it, wouldn't respond, and Bill assured us the water was fine. I've had multiple FOIL requests either lost and then denied. In fact, even as today, we were reaching out, trying to update our map. There are FOIL requests that are 30 days out that haven't been honored. I couldn't leave a voicemail, so I had to make multiple trips in person, only to be told that Erin was in a meeting when in fact she was not even actually here at the town. We were told no one else is having this problem, and we had to foil the complaints to find out what was actually going on and to get a list of the actual complaints. We realized after speaking with neighbors that the town had not provided us with even a fraction of the actual complaints. We then waited months for the town to test our water. We had to involve the Committee on Open Government to help deal with constructive denials. And then after finally learning the issue was copper from our neighbor, we asked the town to test our water for copper. This was in June. After months went by with no response, we had to request the results. Only then did we learn that our water tested above EPA action limits. This was now 6 months after bringing the issue to the town. I thought surely the town would act. I mean, Erin stated in a letter to the Gazette regarding Route 7, safety is and always will be our top priority. I was astonished to learn that the town didn't feel that it was necessary to act or even notify residents. We had to then involve Senator Tedesco, both the county and the State Department of Health. And I'm relieved to share that the state has completely taken control over the water situation. This is the only reason that it is finally being addressed. My question to you, Erin, is why did it take the Department of Health forcing you to do the right thing months after we asked for help so that people would finally know that the water isn't safe to drink? I want to state for the record that when your professional staff is compromised by political agendas, then lives are placed at risk. It is why I'm asking for the residents in our community to hold this administration, not the employees who answer to this administration, accountable. I think it suffices to say that a supervisor who would knowingly hide a water quality issue while ignoring the potential health risks to not only my family, but to other residents in the community should not be allowed to continue in the role as supervisor. This is arguably the most unethical act this town has ever seen by any supervisor. I want to end on a personal note. Both my parents died from liver failure. I've seen firsthand what that looks like. I watched my father, who was a diabetic, die at Albany Med after he slipped into a coma. My mother, who was diagnosed with melanoma of the eye, that metastasized to her liver. She died at my Niskayuna residence on hospice care. I now get to sit here and wonder, is that what I will see? Is that what my son will see? We deserve answers.
Hi, my name is PJ Hoggenstead, 2467 Rosendale Road. And what they just said was fantastic. It was upsetting to see the level of, head shaking and sighing up there. I'm having the same problem. Green water moved into my house 2022. Everything was stained green when we moved in. We've never once drank the water because it didn't look right, didn't smell right. You fill your bathtub up, it's bluish green. I called Culligan about it, and Culligan came out and said, well, I've made a killing on your street. This is like my 8th call this year of blue-green water just on Rosendale Road. He's like, you really should call the town. It's a town problem. I called the town earlier this year, and the response I got from the town was that my problem was completely unique. They've had 0 complaints about water on Rosendale Road. 0. And it's clear that that's not the case at all. They've had numerous complaints. I don't know why they would try to gaslight me into saying, it's your lateral. I've been told so many times, it's your lateral. Or when they come out and they see the blue water in my tub, they go, oh, it's just the odd light coming in. My water's green. It got tested by the town, and the town's reagents were expired. So the town had to come and test it again. The town came and tested it again. They're not a certified lab. So it doesn't even matter what their test said. So they had to come test it again. Town came and tested it again. My My levels are double the EPA action level of 1.3. Mine's 2.59. I have a 1-year-old daughter at home. We wash her bottles with bottled water. My wife and I drink bottled water. We run our coffee maker with bottled water. Unfortunately, though, anyone who's ever had a little kid knows that when you're giving them a bath, a shower, all they want to do is put the water in their mouth. So I have a 1-year-old girl that's drinking this water that we know is not drinkable. The town's response to me was they can give me a Brita water filter, because they know that finally, this was their response 2 weeks ago. They know the water's unsafe to drink, so here's a Brita water filter. Or we can do an RO system under one sink. I have 9 sinks in my house. So you're telling me I pay over 20 grand a year in Niskayuna taxes, and my water's not safe to drink, and the solution is we'll make one of your sinks safe to drink, but nothing will be done for the rest of the house. We've had the same problems as them. My wife's hair has turned green. We've gone through several washers. I've only been there since 2022. We've been through several washers. Several circulator pumps for my boiler have gone bad because they use city water makeup. A couple hot water heaters. I'm worried about I'm worried obviously about the effects on my family. We installed, obviously I didn't come very prepared. I'm just kind of speaking from the heart. We installed filters on our shower to try to keep my wife's hair from turning green. She has to go get hair treatments once every 2 weeks. They put a treatment in her hair. Her hair smells like pennies. It's horrible. It's horrible. You know, we're not a third world country. We should have safe drinking water. And it's upsetting to me that when I brought this up to the town, I was told no one had this problem. This is unique to me. It's probably a problem with my lateral. It has nothing to do with the town being over chlorinated, with the pH being too low. It's ripping my house apart. It's potentially causing health problems to my family. And it's very, very, very upsetting. And I would like to see some sort of action taken, not with another 6-week study. You said were there 6 more weeks on the corrosion study? So we're gonna have another 6-week study, and then what? And then it goes out to bid, whatever the problem is, goes out to bid, we secure a contractor, there's delays. Meanwhile, my family's still being poisoned. I want something done in my house now. What Culligan said that would combat this is a reverse osmosis system for the whole house. They quoted me a little over $40,000. I would like something done to make sure that my daughter is safe. My wife's due to have a son within the next month. I want him to be safe. I want to be able to bathe my kids without worry at my house. I mean, we don't necessarily have to drink the water. That would be a nice luxury to drink our tap water, but I'm not even looking for that. I want to be able to bathe my own kids without worry at my own house. I really, really hope that you guys will take this to heart. I know there's a lot of talk about political, this and that. I'm completely uninterested in the politics of it. I'm just interested in having safe water for my family. And I would really like the town to step up and do what they can do to make that a reality, and make that a reality now. Not 6 weeks, not a month, not maybe this winter, maybe next year, now. I'm not a water expert. I would hope that you guys could hire some and hopefully get this problem solved. Thank you.
I'm Christine Brooks. We moved here in 2015. I have never been at a meeting, spoken at a meeting. I'm not here to place blame. I know we are working on studies, but I am standing before you as a concerned mom. Although this is being presented as a political issue, I have no such agenda. The current situation with our water is a public health issue, and we are at a critical juncture. I want to ensure that everybody here and that the public has clear facts. We purchased our home in 2015. In July of 2019, our hot water heater failed. It seemed unusual since it was brand new when we moved in, but we replaced it. In October, as we brought our newborn home, our water began to taste heavily metallic. We installed expensive filtration systems and told ourselves the problem was solved. In January 2020, and again in August, our water turned neon blue. Not a tinge of discoloration, highlighter blue. I gave you the pictures of that. Imagine putting your newborn's white clothes into the wash, only for them to come out glowing blue. We called our plumbing company, and every time they came, they flushed the hot water tank with chlorine, reassured us, and left. Each time, we thought and we hoped that that would be the end of it. By March of 2021, the blue water returned. The aluminum anode rod in our brand new water heater had corroded away completely. We replaced it with magnesium, which was supposed to be better, and that also corroded. In 2022, we involved the town, our plumber, 2 civil engineers, a chemist, and a team of water purification experts. The town told us our house is unique, other homes are not effective, and maybe the light just makes it look blue. Experts told us those explanations were impossible and that this was an issue with the pH of our water. When the town sampled our water, 1.91 micrograms of copper didn't faze anybody. I notified the Department of Health, the DEC, lost sleep, and replaced a second water heater in just 7 years. By July of 2023, our 5th blue water incident, we regrounded the house's electrical system to eliminate electrolysis as a possible cause. Still no answers, no solutions, just thousands of dollars spent. This past May, we finally learned the truth. Other families are experiencing the same issue. For years, we were told that we were alone. For years, we were told it was just us. The issue continues to worsen as we speak. Our house's main water line is leaking. I know you mentioned wasted water that's disappearing. It might be in my front yard. Our filtration systems are working on overdrive and breaking down. My dentist even made a comment last week about questioning a low pH in my water because of all these dental treatments that I'm needing. And it's only getting worse. I'm just here holding my breath and praying that my family doesn't experience long-term health consequences as a result of this. We talk about open communication and community, and now we're hoping that community will stand behind us and address the issue once and for all. This is bigger than one household, and it's not political. It's a community health issue, and our families deserve clean water. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine.